the Schmoedown Throwdown. And this is the first time we're ever doing this over on Patreon, and then it's going to be, you know, for everybody later on, but we're all Patrons here, so we're getting the early scoop. You guys are going to see this, you know, at the time of release, but I'm just letting you guys know we're Patrons. We feel cool. You should be a Patreon so you can feel cool too. With that being said, I am brought here with my partners in crime, Michael Campbell and Jake Marangoni. Michael Campbell, are you excited for both of these matches that we're going to see today?
Hell yeah. The IG title match is something everyone's been looking forward to for a year or two now, and this number one contender match I'm very looking forward to. I'm a big fan of Haley, so hopefully she does well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And Jake, are you looking forward to this first match?
Yes, mainly just so I can see the Odd Couple get a knockout over Scream Queens. Mainly, yeah, because I like the Odd Couple a lot, and I'm definitely curious as to this sequel match against Karnowski and Cushing in Inner Geekdom, because the first time Cushing won, and now things have changed, so we'll see if that means anything different. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And actually, the winner of the Odd Couple Scream Queens faces, I believe, Who's the Boss at the live event.
Yep. Which I'm going to be at. Unfortunately, neither of you will be there because it's going to be in my hometown of Chicago. Well, I don't live in Chicago, but it's 30 minutes away, so it's practically my hometown. So, obviously, Jake is going to be rooting for, Odd Couple. But, Michael, what do you think?
I think Odd Couple will win, but I'm hoping Haley does well and puts on a good performance.
So we'll go ahead and start this first video because we're going to be doing two separate videos. So be on the lookout for the second video when that one drops. But this is the first one, so we'll talk about predictions for that later. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. 35 competitors. Usually the last person standing. 5 competitors will start at the table. People who have the lowest amount of points on the desk will be eliminated, and then new competitors will enter.
You never know who's coming down the ramp next.
You guys can be there to watch it all.
Fuck you.
LA. Give it up for John Humphrey. Wow, Irwin has not missed.
Humphreys, yeah, that was a good one.
Head to figure out who is the ultimate champion here.
It is happening today.
Hopefully they do elimination style at the end of the free-for-all this time.
I think they announced
this is something special.
They were like, the backlash was not great, so let's do this. Uh-oh.
Roxy, where are you?
Jeff, I'm in Orange County right now. I got a call from Emma this morning. She was super frantic, and she told me that I had to rush to Orange County, so I got my car and I drove an hour and a half here, and then I show up and it's an abandoned building somewhere in Orange County, and obviously I'm not going to make the match now.
I know who this was. This was Grace. This is the work of Grace Hancock.
I called the number back because I wanted to know who it was, and it wasn't Emma's phone, obviously, so I guess maybe it was Grace. What a crazy psycho. Like, why would somebody do that?
Dude, you're telling me. I know the woman. I've worked with her for
Skinny
years.
tycho.
She's nuts. She'll do anything to stop us from getting to Chicago, and I'm not going to let it happen.
Well, don't let her make us lose this. Like, I know that I'm not going to be there, but you guys can do this. We're going to Chicago. We're going to beat Who's the Boss. We're taking them down. I don't care what Grace is planning or anybody's planning. Concentrate. Focus.
Roxy
You guys can do this.
at the live event.
Of course I'm going to concentrate. Of course we're going to do this.
I know. That's what I'm a
So I'm
little
definitely
worried
going to be there
about.
now.
Just don't wear the wig, okay?
You have to yell that the chant.
Okay, tell Andre that I say good luck.
But don't worry, Roxy, I won't kiss you on the cheek. Janine, if you're watching this, we feel sorry for you. So sorry. Epic music. Orange. I'm gonna have to change the color palette on our screen. Welcome.
It's a Jurassic Park.
Yeah, right. I have a guy that comes into the gas station where I work, and he looks like John Hammond. Old white man with a beard, and he actually wears a hat, like, you know, as if he's out in the doing that stuff. Paleontology. Beautiful. These edits are killer, dude. I love it.
Give this man away. Nope. Sounds like live music. Man, whoever does these graphics, man, they're so good.
Schmoedown! Not a regular Schmoedown! It is the Schmoedown!
It'll be interesting to see if there are any flumps.
I am Martin Baby Carrots Ellis, and Christian, what a matchup, what a team of matchups we have for you here tonight. We are broadcasting live from the Valley, 818 till we die. Are we going to keep pushing with positive energy? You got it, Christian. In the words of the great baseball player / comedian, the late great Brody Stevens, these matches will be throwing high 80s with movement.
Yeah, now, one thing I would like to say before we get started, and we've been very excited for this, as you know. Last night, or yesterday, we got the very unfortunate news that a very close friend of both myself and Mark and other people here, Mr. Brody Stevens, has passed away. And it struck me, it hit me to my core pretty hard last night. This is somebody that I was pretty close with when I was at the Comedy Store. He was very encouraging. One of the nicest human beings I think that I've ever met, and it really hurt. So I just wanted to let everyone know out there, if you had never seen Brody's comedy, if you'd never heard of Brody, please go find him, because you talk about a guy that can bring laughs like that, a very unique voice, and he'll be sorely, sorely missed.
Brilliant, energetic, one-of-a-kind, all words used to describe Brody Stevens' comedy. He was the comic that all the other comics would rush in to not miss his set night after night, and he was so kind and giving to each and every comic, whether they were at the top of their game or they were just starting out. Brody Stevens was a friend to everyone in the community. It was nice being there at the Comedy Store last night, being on stage, getting to be around that community and see just how loved Brody was. And because, like I said last night, us comics, we're not really big on moments of silence. So instead of that, how about we just get a big round of applause right now for Mr. Brody Stevens. We love you, Brody. We're going to keep the positive energy going because of you, and you can find on Christian and I's individual Twitter feeds a number of different ways that if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling hopeless or despondent, you are not alone. You can get in touch with a number of different hotlines. We are all here for you. We're one big happy family in the Schmoedown and here on planet Earth, and we want you to stick around. And Christian, with that, you talk about the fact that this is a family, this is a community that you and I have built here in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. You never think you're going to get to the heights where you're live streaming a pay-per-view event like this across the entire globe, but we are here back, and this is the first one we've done in our Collider studio.
Yeah, listen, this is the big one because last year at the Spectacular, there was a big plan that was announced. And first of all, the patrons, for any of the patrons that are watching right now.
Hi, thank you.
Thank you. You guys, like I said, it is the lifeblood. It is the reason that we are on the air right now. It's everything that you guys have done for us. For the,
it's on the reflex.
The viewers right now that are watching, that can't be patrons, but you're liking, you're sharing. You bought the live stream tonight to check it out. We are going to be doing events like this. We've done a live events. We did New York. We're doing Chicago. We're going to be live at the free for all.
294 likes.
Why not do a live event for the times that we are not, the
pretty
months
good,
that we're not on the
numbers.
road? Let's do it live from studio.
We're here.
And what a card to kick it off.
I'm at 301
Become a patron so you don't have to pay $2.99 for the individual
views.
events. Thank you. Now look, Christian, you look at the two events
My
we have.
accounts
Obviously,
might
there's
be
an
refreshed.
Geekdom title match to be solved here, and some people will call it an undercard. I would say Scream Queens versus the Odd Couple. That is main event territory because we have two teams that are ready for some blood.
This is a really solid matchup that just kind of came to be because the Scream Queens, both Haley and Kaylin, they are 2-0. They had a very strong year, and who knows where they would have gone had Anarchy not have happened. But they won 2 straight matches. They beat the Garden Hosers, and they also beat Only Stupid Answers, and they have shown as a team that they can play together. They've played in the exhibition together.
That Garden Hosers match is one of my most favorite matches ever. I love watching that.
Two solid competitors.
When Thomas has to run off because he's about to throw up, kills me every time.
Champion. He was part of the Lion's Den with Mark Andreyko, and he held that title for a long time, over a year and a half. He knows what it's like to be the champion. Mark Andreyko hasn't gotten to a title yet, but he's been in the main event picture all last year. They team back up. Emma has to step down. She's no longer the manager of
thought.
Fight
You
Club,
saw
so
that?
Mark Andreyko says to Roxy, hey,
Oof.
manage us,
Cringe.
put us together, here we go. Now, I don't know what happened to Roxy and why she can't be here.
Can't wait
That's
to see
something
what
we'll
outfit
figure out
he's
later
wearing.
on, but they're here. And it's going to be a
Is he
pretty
gonna wear a
dynamic
wig?
match.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Roxy or Orange County. I know you barely understand FaceTime or
Or is he gonna
texting
wear
as
that
it
goddamn
is, so
tank top?
we're a little confused on that front.
Oof.
But look, the Scream Queens, they have their
With
most
that weird
formidable
hairy
opponent
shoulder
yet,
slash
because
not
I
hairy
guarantee,
shoulder.
unlike the Garden Hosers, the Odd Couple, they're not hungover. They have been training for this for a long time. Andreyko and Snyder getting in touch because Andreyko called Snyder, and Snyder, when he calls Andreyko, well, that's the most important. That's the biggest phone call he'll ever have to take.
Yeah, I like what you did there. I like what you did. But, you know, the other thing, yes, we are here for this team matchup. Whoever wins this match
Like
goes
that-
to
like that
Chicago to
reference.
play Who's the Boss in a #1 contender match. We know that's the stakes. But the main event tonight, the
Didn't
reason why a
land
lot of
as
people
well
are
as
here
maybe he
watching
hoped,
right
but
now,
yeah.
excited
I like
in the
it.
studio, it is the biggest
Unlike an edited, that's when you would have seen that one of those corner cuts, and you'd be like, I wonder what happened there. Now I know what happened.
Champion Mike the Killer
Sure, like a lot of
Kalinowski
found jokes.
will defend
Yeah.
his championship against
Christian's like,
Rachel
probably should have said
Made me
that.
laugh, so
Cushing. That is right. This is a match coming. This is the second time.
Can we
Rachel
just,
Cushing
we
fans just
know you
woke
know
No,
it.
this is the second time that they have played in Inner Geekdom. This is the third time that they have played, and Rachel has won every
Adam.
time thus far.
Let's go over,
Can Mike
I don't know,
Kalinowski get over
release
that hump
dates?
tonight? Can he beat the one person he has not been able to beat so far in this league? We don't know. Rachel Cushing, if she does it tonight,
Look at that
if
color
she
scheme.
can
That
win
was
the
old news.
championship, she will be the
We're not worried about
second
that.
person
We're not worried
to
about that.
ever be double belted,
So
the
long
first
ago.
ever to be double belted in Inner Geekdom, and the first ever woman double belted champion.
That's right. In Burbank tonight is going to be one old big nerd alert coming in just about an hour. But before that, we have the Scream Queen and the Odd Couple.
Yeah, and as far as that matchup, you want to see how they got here? Here you go.
The Scream Queen. Some newbies here today. They are experts in the horror genre.
Greta Gerwig. Greta Gerwig.
She's got it!
We got nothing.
And your winner! Scream Queens! The Scream Queens have won it.
And
Scream
your
Queens,
winner!
They just like the world is their oyster if they like
Got some work to do,
They
man.
want to keep winning. They had that first taste of victory. They want to keep going.
Scream Queens!
Pretty one.
And your
I love Haley
And the
wore the
Scream
Christopher
Queens
Nolan
find
shirt
themselves
after
down
that first
2-0.
match.
Well, whoever else is out there, they want to play them. So
They sucked. The Nolan category.
here to play.
Anarchy. The inside.
Hey, you didn't do that
Nah, it was a bad round. I love that. Yes!
It's them scarves.
Sam
good.
Mendes.
Snyder knew they had to show.
Well, to be fair, the last match did
We were forced to be
didn't go so well. They were a bit salty.
No.
Take it all away.
Yeah.
And your winner!
Can't be a sore loser. We lost fair and square. That's true.
Wow, everyone
I'm
has
really proud of
races
them. They did everything they
completely
could today.
destroyed the Odd Couple.
here soon after the
That
tournament.
match.
I'm without a manager now,
yeah.
so I was
They
wondering.
didn't even sound to the 5-point.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Where is he?
I don't know, in the alley somewhere probably.
Oof.
So it is interesting. They're not going to do promos for like the live pre-recorded ones. So
Yeah. Just because it's live and all that.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of work to do and it's a lot easier.
At least we get these promos.
Odd Couple
I don't know
and
what.
Scream Queens. Here we go. Queens. They have 2 victories back to back.
What about a
They're
pat
both
out of hell?
horror aficionados, and they went undefeated at season
Remember
5.
that?
2-0.
Now the Odd Couple. These are former stablemates. Now stablemates once again. They have experience, and they have 10 title matches between the both of them. They've also been in 4 tournaments between the both of them.
I just love the term stablemates.
Yeah.
Maybe we have a salt lick back there for the Odd Couple.
Undefeated.
Are you ready to get going?
I am prepared. Ladies and
doing
gentlemen,
that
it's
heavy
time for
lifting there.
the
Maybe Trevor Schmoedown.
Schmoedown. I like the way you do that. Almost as good as I do it.
All right.
Let's get ready to Schmoedown.
Introducing first
Scream Queens should be the favorite. They're undefeated. Shit.
with a record
But I do love the music though.
of
Got
2
one.
wins,
He said shit.
no defeats.
Scream Queen should be the favorite. Shit.
They're 2 compared to 2
Yeah.
and 1.
Scream
Like,
Queens.
as much as damn, I like it.
And
Wait a minute.
that is
That's
not
not
Haley.
What?
Palin. It appears to be
That's Sam Levine.
Sam Levine.
Sam Levine's gonna
Man
get
back
killed.
from South
I'm
Florida.
waiting
That's the
for.
singles commissioner Sam Levine on
Yeah.
the front.
Sam,
what
yeah.
we're taping here, buddy.
Oh God,
We
guys,
got
I'm so
some-
sorry. No, it's just a really important call came in, and like this is the only spot in this whole building that gets cell service.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I really don't
We're
want to
live.
ruin the event.
We're live. This is
Yeah.
on the air right now.
No, I know, but look, it's
You know.
it's a big deal. It's,
not a
my
good-
agent calling,
Okay.
and they're rebooting Scream, I guess, and so they want me to be like the celebrity death cameo at the top of the
That's
movie or
pretty
something.
cool. When's that going down?
That's a great question. When do they want to shoot this?
Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Oh, I think Drew Barrymore. Oh, he's close.
Sam Levine! Down goes Levine! Down goes Levine! Milking the death like a true thespian! Sam Levine!
And we usually have to wait until the end of the movie to find out who the killer was.
Sam announced he retired. It's going to be great to watch Sam try to
Wait, there's two
crawl
of
his
them?
way out of the studio without us seeing on camera.
Well, I
My
don't.
mom's gonna be pissed. My mom's gonna be so mad at me. What does he say?
With a record of 2 wins and 1 defeat, they are the 2018 Ultimate Schmoedown semifinalists.
The Odd Couple makes me want to play
Mark,
poker every
the
time.
Android and Draco. Jeff, the Insider Snyder.
Yep. Grumpy old men. Yep.
Odd couple. Mark and Draco coming out.
And Draco
And
has
what
the
are we
murder.
about to find out now? Oh, look who it is.
Wow.
His hat falls off. His hair's coming out of the back. Oh, no.
Another man. What's he doing? Okay.
Oh, there it is.
I think he has some touch.
Leatherface.
Like,
Oh, whoa.
Spoilers.
Will spell on himself. It's a real
the
Character. It must have been some
Sorry.
trip to Halloween Town down the street on Magnolia Boulevard.
All right. So there you go. We'll ask the odd couple first. Are you ready?
I mean, first of all, where's Roxy? Where's Roxy?
I have no idea.
Okay, I know Grace is probably watching. She's probably
I
behind.
don't know, but you guys are ready to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
Scream Queens, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Then let's
like
get
the
ready
big twist to be was them.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Here we go. Starting up. All right, guys. First question in the realm of action adventure.
Yep.
Who plays the villainous Lord Henry Blackwood in 2009?
Oh, you're not showing the questions.
Hey, we're friends with the producer.
I mean,
I'm friends with the producer.
The former champion.
Yeah. You want me to introduce you to him?
Please.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
5, 4,
He likes Ninja Turtles.
3,
It's a lot harder when you can't look at the screen for
2,
the question.
1.
I've been saying
Just
it every
Snyder.
time.
It's been a while.
That makes sense.
Mark Strong?
Correct. Kaylin.
I don't have it.
Didn't have it. Mark.
I had Jared Harris.
And Kaylin.
I said-
Sorry, Haley.
I didn't have it.
You didn't have it. All right, so only
Frankie, put it on the list.
All right, Jeff
I
Snyder
gotta
hits
listen
it.
closely. There's no
Snyder
questions on
very
screen.
excited about his perfect game thus far. We move on to the next category, and that is the world of comedies. I was told by a patron to not do the giggle after I say comedies, so for that patron, I will simply say,
You're like Jar Jar Binks in it.
and in a fitting question for this particular evening and week in the Brody Stevens featuring film The Hangover. Who plays Jade? Who plays Jade, the character that marries Ed Helms' character after a crazy night in Las Vegas?
Did I cut it out for anyone else?
Last time you went to Vegas.
We call this
No, I think
place
they started clapping.
which is usually when I go to Vegas.
This is us in the free for all too. And Draco got it.
May.
3,
He's like,
Mark
type
down
cross.
2, 1.
Heather Brand, Roller Girl.
Pens down. And did you have it?
Fuck, my video's lagging.
Caitlin?
Shit.
It's, I guess, Elizabeth Banks.
That's incorrect. Mark and
God.
Draco.
No.
Heather Graham?
Yes, it is.
Heather Graham.
Yep, and Jeff.
She's the first thing you see when you walk into my apartment. Roller Girl, Heather Gray.
Wow. Apparently, Jeff Snyder has kidnapped Heather Gray.
Can I ask what
Trivia
timestamp
show
you
also a
guys
creepy
have?
little insight into Snyder's world.
I'm at 3140
Next question comes
Yeah.
from Dramas.
3140?
and
In the
counting.
film Castaway,
31.
what is
yeah.
on the FedEx box that Tom Hanks never opens? What is on the FedEx box that Tom Hanks never
Oh,
opens?
shit.
Puffy curveball.
That's the question.
Number one.
Skalisky really challenging
Skalisky.
the live audience.
My video's lagging.
5,
He's a big baseball fan.
I know.
Lives in
4,
near St. Louis.
3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Yeah, I
First
didn't
one.
know it.
In the film Castaway, what is on
I-
the FedEx box that Tom Hanks
I can
never
see it.
opens?
Are you caught up, Michael?
Yeah, it's buffering. and
Five.
it's- Shit.
4,
Finishing up
3,
their answers.
2,
They
1.
have a snow
Pens
globe?
down, please, and Mark Andreyko.
A mailing label?
That's incorrect.
Not what we were looking for.
A post-it note?
Incorrect. Snyder.
A return address.
No. Caleb.
A chess box.
No, it was a pair of wings.
Pair of wings.
Pair of
I said
wings.
I've seen that movie 100 times.
Hey, great question, Chris.
I'm
Pair
at
of wings.
It is
I'm
not
at
up to you to
32,
judge the questions. It is up to
45.
me to ask
Must
the
be a
next one.
perfect
You're like
game
5
with that
seconds
one.
behind me,
There you go,
but
next
yeah.
one.
It is from the world of the 1980s.
We're at 54.
These are 80s films, and your question is, this 1984 John Carpenter film about an alien who comes to Earth and takes the form of a woman's dead husband starred Karen Allen and Jeff
Oh,
Bridges.
wow. So many clues. Jesus Christ.
You like how I asked that question like it was super positive?
Yeah.
The other one, what was on the box?
woman's dead
And then this
husband.
You
one,
wanted to go with
here's what the
pair of
movie's
wings.
about,
5,
and here's who it stars.
4,
And directed.
3, 2, 1.
Starman.
Pens down. Haley.
Starman.
Star?
That's
Starman?
Starman's correct.
Starman.
Yes, it is. And Draco. Starman. Okay. So Caleb hits it. 5-2. The odd couple have a 3-point lead here as we get to question number 5. That's fantasy sci-fi. Which James Bond actor appears in the fantasy adventure film Time Bandits?
Hey, you see what's on the desk? This is from our friends Jose and Emma. They got me a carrot bouquet.
Oh, you know what
Look
they
at
got me? Nothing.
Oh,
just
poor,
kidding. I'm just
poor
kidding. They've
little
got me a-
guy.
they've got me a
They
lot.
got you
Took me a
love
minute.
and support.
Got me a whole box of LaCroix.
At least I think
Really?
it's
3, yeah. 2.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes, I can. That's the first one for you guys, and it is.
I still haven't
which
seen Time
James
Bandits yet.
Bond character appears?
Actor, thank you.
Sorry. Which James Bond actor appears in the fantasy adventure film Time Bandits?
Time Bandits might be a better movie if you got like a Jaws or a
Yeah.
GoldenEye popping in there.
5, 4, 3,
Man, I have
2,
no idea.
Sean
1,
Connery.
and Jeff Snyder.
What are these questions?
It's not
Time
Connery.
Bandits?
What do you got?
George Lazenby.
No, Kaylin.
Timothy Dalton.
Sean
No,
Connery.
and Draco.
Sean Connery.
Yes,
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Oh,
Yes.
Time Bandits.
6-3. Or 6-3.
Terry Gilliam. You don't know that movie?
6-3.
Yeah, I do. I thought it
next
was
question.
the-
Next world comes from
One
the
with Paul
fascinating
Walker.
universe of animated films. These are
Timeline.
movies drawn by hand or on a computer. Your question: which actor, who also voiced Randall in Monsters Inc., provides the voice of Wayne the Wolfman in Hotel Transylvania?
Tell you, I like Hotel
I
Transylvania.
was
I
just going to
think
say,
I could just
underrated.
know who it was.
Based
from
on
the
Randall.
I
first
my
half.
daughter all the time. She
Yeah,
loves
it
it.
was on
True,
Randall.
because they went on a cruise
I definitely
ship.
didn't know the other one.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens
Steve
down.
Buscemi.
And
Jason.
Kaylin.
Did she have?
Why is she taking so long?
Didn't have it. Mark.
Didn't
She's
have
so
it.
awkward today.
Nope. Haley, no. And Snyder.
Stephen Buscemi.
Yes, it is. All right, so there goes 7-3.
Snyder, the star of the game thus far.
So far, 7-3. And your next question here, horror/thriller. Horror/thriller. Which 2010 horror film is about a group of strangers being stuck in an elevator and realizing that one of them may be Lucifer himself?
Question and
I actually
follow-up
like this
question.
movie.
You didn't give me any credit on
Jelly
that.
side down.
Oh no, it was very well done.
You don't care.
You were just buying time,
Michael,
so I
you
wouldn't
caught
ask you
up
the
yet?
question or the follow-up.
5, 4, 3,
Get you, Harlow.
2,
It's like
1.
Devil.
Mark Draco. Nope. Haley.
Devil?
Yes.
It's what they
Snyder.
call me in the
Buffering.
sack. Devil.
And
F. Devil.
Devil. All right. So,
So,
Screen Queens
Devil, is that about the M. Night Shyamalan movie?
That was he wrote it, or he produced it, one of the two. He didn't direct
it.
And 3
He
point.
wrote
Do we-
it.
Yeah, he
We
didn't
all
direct
want
it.
to stop at
The question is a
36.
All right, stop talking.
Patreon.
Questions aren't on screen. Stop
John
talking.
Patterson, everybody. How about a hand for John Patterson?
saying, do you want to get in sync
John
again?
Patterson, thank you for your support. If you are watching this
It's-
somehow and you are not a member of the Movie
it's just
Series Schmoedown
buffering.
Patreon,
It's
check
just
out the
nothing.
Schmoedown Patreon today.
Honestly,
Select which
deal
tier
with it.
is right for you. And maybe one day I will say your name on a live streamed show. John Patterson wanted the world of 90s movies to
Yeah,
be the
he
last
did.
question in
Johnny
round
boy.
one. These are the 1990s. Jeff Goldblum famously says the line, "Must go faster," in both Jurassic Park and what other 1990s film? You see, a lot of people are writing down.
Yeah.
Jurassic
Good.
Park.
I know. You like those types of things.
Yeah, I love.
I know.
The little bait and
5,
switch.
4, 3,
I don't know.
2,
It's Independence Day.
Independence
down,
Day?
And Haley.
Independence Day?
Yeah!
It is Snyder.
Independence.
I got
There you
6,
go.
Jake.
And Caleb?
I don't have it.
And Draco?
I got 6 as well.
He's carrying me. I have no.
Didn't have it. Okay.
Didn't have
so
it.
9,
Wow.
6, 3 points though.
Hey, I got as many as Screen Queens by myself.
And it is now a 3-point game as we get into round number 2.
The Odd Couple, would you like to spin first or defer to your opponents? All right, Jeff Snyder talking to a mannequin.
We're gonna defer, and we're gonna let the ladies go first.
All right, there you go. Okay,
What
so
a gentleman.
Haley, once again, please spin from the wheel, not the pegs.
The wheel, not the peg. Is that on any merch just yet?
No, it should be.
A very gentle
Give it a good spin, Haley.
And that's a great spin. I want everybody to
What is-
see.
They don't need to be that gentle.
As we await Josh
What's your
Berger
timestamp?
to Home Depot.
And we're going to hit new releases.
39,
Just
21, 22.
We're going to stick with new
We're on
releases.
They're going to stick with
23
new
now.
releases, which means I get to say the name of Lance Storr. Lance Storr is our patron. How about a hand for Lance Storr?
There you
That's
go,
our
Lance.
patron, and he wanted new releases.
So I'm at
Yeah, someone's
39,
great.
31.
Now we get into the new releases. Once
Yeah,
again,
a little later.
ladies, 6 questions
Go to
in the world
40.
of new releases. These are movies that came out in the last 12
41,
to 18
42,
months, give or
43,
take a few months.
44.
And a
Tell me-
FedEx box
tell me
of
when you
wings.
get to 50.
And your first of 6 questions,
Okay.
and you're allowed to consult on each and every one of these. In the
Right.
film Black
3,
Klansman,
2, 1,
who
now.
played John David Washington's undercover counterpart, Flip?
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver.
It is, in fact, Adam
Zoe
Driver.
Haley.
2 points. All right, your next question for the lead here early in round number 2. What 2018 action comedy starred Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon?
The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yep.
The Spy Who Dumped Me.
It was The Spy Who Dumped Me.
This could be like a 10-point, 12-point round,
Yeah.
which could be
Your
very
next
dangerous for the other couple.
Name the film with the following synopsis. After a malicious data hack exposes the secrets of the perpetually American town of Salem, chaos descends, and 4 girls must fight to survive while
American
coping
Nation?
with the hack themselves.
How do you? What's that?
Assassination.
Assassination Nation. Yeah. I was like, what is the name of the title?
Nation.
Christian, they are on a roll. 2 more points.
This is Haley's strength, yeah.
I was like, American Nation.
Odd Couple's still only down 3 points, though.
I think when you think of American
Right, I mean,
Animals,
it's
sorry.
a drama,
Oh, yeah,
but again,
I knew-
if they
I was
don't
thinking of the
get
right movie,
spin
but
that
I was-
they
the
want,
title was
maybe
tripping
then
up.
the
You could be
Scream
in
Queen
trouble.
steals something.
Yeah.
You're really in hot water. We move back to Scream Queens for your next question, and that is, what 2018 historical drama stars Oscar Isaac and Ben Kingsley?
Is that Operation Finale?
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Sweet Country, B, 12 Strong, C, Operation Finale, or D, Leave No Trace?
I'm gonna say Operation
Yeah,
Finale.
it's process of elimination.
Yeah.
12 strong.
Yeah.
That is incorrect for a 1-point steal.
Operation Finale.
It is Operation Finale, and that's a big step.
Those are like some not good multiple
So now,
choice.
Christian, the Scream Queens
Leave no
have themselves
trace?
two more questions
Hey,
left
they
in round
still
number
missed it.
2. They enjoy a 2-point lead, but again, the Odd Couple has not spun yet. So, Scream Queens, your question is, in the film Bumblebee, what does Charlie's mother get her for her birthday?
It's like a bike,
scooter.
I think. Or a helmet. Or
All right. Yeah.
It is, in fact, a helmet.
Good.
yeah, helmet.
Kids out there riding your bikes and your skateboards, doing your whatnot, make sure you are indeed wearing a helmet.
Last question here.
Your last question in round number 2 for 2 points. If you get it right off the bat. In the film Ant-Man and the Wasp, who plays the old friend and former lab assistant to Hank
Lawrence
Pym?
Fishburne.
Lawrence
Lawrence
Fishburne.
Fishburne.
Larry Fish. They used to call me Goliath.
Multiple choice, please.
I can do that. Is it A, Louis Gossett Jr., B, Forrest Whitaker, C, Giancarlo Esposito, or D, Lawrence Fishburne?
Did they just not see it?
4,
Come on.
3.
Forrest Whitaker.
That is incorrect for 1-point steal.
He's in Black
They
Panther.
got the steal.
Okay, so look at that. So the Scream Queens have had a very nice round, and
They did.
They find themselves 3 points ahead of the Odd Couple, who will now see themselves to the wheel here.
I wouldn't say I had a
6
nice
questions
round,
in
They
round
did
number
pretty good.
2, and now Jeff
I mean, I went
Snyder
what?
hits the wheel. No, he doesn't
10 for
want
12?
it. Draco does not want to spin it.
Yeah, I probably got
And
like.
here we go.
Jeff
4,
Snyder looks like he was
5.
doing some business at the docks earlier.
There's the spin.
Very gentle spin. Thank you, Mr. Snyder.
See, that's gentle, but still a good spin.
All right,
The last like
round
bunch
we
we
go.
watched are not good.
So, Christian, you got to figure, because it's the Odd Couple, Snyder was also, I mean, look, he
Oh,
covers
look at
movies.
this. Look at this.
He knows new
Look at
releases.
This. Look
could
at
be
this.
Spinner's choice.
Spinner's choice. It is.
Spinner's choice.
What do they want?
Fincher! Fincher!
So, are they going to be able to?
Can you talk him into
settle on
Fincher?
one wheel
Please
wedge?
talk him into
What are they gonna want?
Fincher.
'Cause Draco had a rough first round, but again, Snyder.
Talk him into Fincher. You know Snyder wants it.
Is off the board.
It's off the board.
But they're both good at horror.
But also Scream Queens.
All right.
Matthew McConaughey.
That would be
Wow.
That would be Carl's Jr. spokesperson,
Wow.
Matthew McConaughey.
What a choice.
Chance, you watching? Steady up.
It is.
Better,
All right,
better.
gentlemen. Here we go, guys. So you're going to get 6
Interesting.
questions in the world of Matthew
The
McConaughey.
wild, wonderful world of the Lincoln owner.
Here's the first one. In the film Gold, who plays Matthew McConaughey's longtime girlfriend, Kay?
Sienna Miller, I believe.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Kate Hudson, B, Bryce Dallas Howard, C, Jennifer Garner,
That's full
D,
goal.
Jessica Chastain?
Bryce Dallas Howard.
For 1 point.
Okay,
That's correct.
it's Bryce Dallas
The
Howard.
sunglasses off early in round 2.
Shit.
All right, here's
Where
question number
did I
2,
get
guys.
Sienna Miller?
Here's question 2. Who starred as Matthew McConaughey's love interest in Failure to Launch?
Sarah Jessica
Jessica
Parker.
Parker.
2 points. Tie game.
Tie ball game. Matthew McConaughey.
Who played his dad?
So far.
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw.
Matthew
You see
McConaughey
his ass.
appears in which 2017 film based off a Stephen King novel?
Oh, The Dark Tower.
Up Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower.
That's correct. 2 points.
It took me a minute because that movie's so forgettable.
Question number 4.
And it was in like
Question number 4.
production for so long.
Which 2006 sports drama tells the true story of a community trying
We Are
to
Marshall.
deal with the aftermath of a plane
All I needed was
that kills an
sports
entire
drama.
university football team?
We Are Marshall.
Yeah, 2 points.
And so now,
fucking
this is what we
skipping
know
answer,
the odd
right?
couple is capable
I mean, it's almost like that John Carpenter one. What John Carpenter movie
especially the
is about this?
7-year-old.
Start.
It is now a 4-point advantage for the odd couple, and they still have a couple questions remaining, Christian.
That's my base. That's my base.
All right, here we go.
Jeff Snyder bringing his kids to today's event.
All right, here we go. In Contact, which famous British actor plays the secretive billionaire industrialist S.R. Haddon, who funds the creation of the alien transport
John
machine?
Hurt?
I haven't seen Contact.
Multiple choice.
A, Ben Kingsley. B, John Hurt. C, Anthony Hopkins. D,
I'll go with you, partner.
That's her.
Who was the last one?
Michael Caine.
It's John Hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't get all cute with the
Sorry,
accent.
buddy.
Yeah, don't do accents.
Don't get all cute with the accents. Michael Caine.
Everyone knows. Everyone says his name like that.
5,
Michael Caine.
4, 3.
My
I'm
cocaine.
gonna
Two.
rule you. Anthony Hopkins.
It's incorrect.
Can we hear the options again?
Yes, you
Shit.
can. Is it
Oh.
A, Ben Kingsley, B,
Come on.
John Hurt, C,
Catalan Fashion knows it.
Hopkins, D, Michael Caine?
Ben Kingsley?
Also incorrect. Looking for John Hurt.
John Hurt.
John Hurt.
All right, last
John
question,
Hurt.
guys. Last
That's
question
okay.
for Matthew McConaughey.
Damn it, that would have been nice.
Here we go.
And Draco's
Okay.
looking at him. He's like,
What
motherfucker, I told
former
you.
American president did Anthony Hopkins portray in Steven Spielberg's Amistad?
Amistad.
Kidding me? What former president?
Richard.
I would challenge that this
Multiple
isn't
choice.
anything to do with Matthew McConaughey.
A,
Matthew McConaughey. This had
John
nothing to do with
Adams,
Matthew
B,
McConaughey.
James Madison, C, James Monroe, D, John
is.
Quincy Adams.
John Quincy Adams.
I'll go Monroe.
5,
Yeah, I'm thinking Monroe.
4, 3.
John Quincy
2.
Adams?
That's correct for 1
Oh,
point.
they stumbled into it.
All right, so the odd couple has a 5-point
If they had missed
lead
it, you reckon
as
they
we
would have
get
challenged?
into the
I
third
think
and
it would have
final
been
round.
some.
From 1 to 20, what feels lucky?
6,
12.
18.
6, 12, and 18. Making it easy, going in order.
Scream Queens.
1. 13.
All multiples
1,
of 6.
13, and 5 for the Scream Queens, who will be up first.
Can I give him a little gift first?
What do you want to give them?
I've got a little pouch here.
Oh, nice.
And I know you guys are big horror fans, so I got you a candle from The Purge. It's an emergency survival candle. You might want to light it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Very
Look
on
at
brand. Jess.
I thought he was actually doing something genuinely nice.
No,
You do realize we're the odd couple,
yeah,
right?
he was re-gifting something
What
that
are
he
you
got
talking
about a year ago. All right, let me
That's my
Didn't
way.
end up being that. It is a purge game.
Ooh, Collider Live shout out.
Here in our studio.
Here we go. Scream Queen trying to.
He gave away old
And we
DVDs
start
and
with
comic
your
books and stuff.
two-pointer, which is category 1
That
in
he-
the realm of 2000s. Who would like to take the 2-pointer?
I'll take it.
You're going to take it. Okay, Haley, here we go.
Kayla.
Who played Virginia Woolf
She'll make
in
it.
The Hours?
Nicole Kidman.
Haley's taking it every time.
Okay.
She's wearing sunglasses, but I could tell she did not blink when answering that question.
So now we're going to get to the
Hey,
3-pointer. by
relatively
Haley,
fair
number
2-pointer.
13. Crime.
I didn't know it.
In the film
Yep.
Who
I
plays
forgot it.
Ted, the Phoenix police officer that Kate takes back to her place?
John.
John Bernthal.
It's John Ben.
John Bernthal.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you saying Daniel
Think
for?
about it. He's not gonna get
4,
I was like,
User repeat.
2, 1. All right, nothing. The answer was John Barenthal.
John
The answer was
Bernthal.
John Barenthal. Okay.
John Bernthal. So now it's the 5-point question.
So
Wow.
now the 5 points, if they hit it, it'll bounce back to the odd couple. We'll
She
have
had
to
it.
answer.
I think
However,
Caitlin's not feeling well
the
or something.
Scream Queens
This
miss
is
the
Haley
5-pointer.
needs an upgrade,
The odd
I'm
couple
sorry.
are going to go to Chicago to face who's the boss for the #1 contender spot. And your question is from the realm of new releases. Ooh. New releases. Here you go.
Well, at least
5 points.
they know some
In
of
the
them.
film Paddington 2,
Yeah.
what is the name of the prison cook who is played by Brendan Gleeson?
Knuckles.
Knuckles McGee or McGinty, right? What is it?
McGinty.
McGinty, right?
I only know this
Mine of the
because
teams
this is
can
on
confirm.
against Paul and Thomas in my FML
5,
match.
4, 3,
Now that I've seen that, I
2,
know.
1.
No.
Repeat.
Your winner by way of technical knockout, going to Chicago, Mark the Android and Draco.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Knuckles.
Dun, 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 dun,
We were looking for
dun, dun.
Knuckles or Knuckles McGinty. We would have accepted as well. A heartbreak for the
I've only
Scream
seen it
Queens.
once,
Don't
but
get-
because
don't take
fucking
away
Zach
from the
and
odd couple, Chris.
Lucas
They got
love
a
it so
TKO.
much.
They earned it with a brilliant round number 2.
I enjoyed it.
Snyder
Man.
finds himself
I
somewhere
like it
that he
too.
hasn't been in a little bit
Lucas probably
since
missed
the
that when he was
spectacular,
watching,
the
by the
first
way.
spectacular. He
Could be
is in
alright.
a #1 contender, #1 contender match. You can get there. And Mark Andraco now closer to a team title shot somewhere he has not been yet. But they're playing Who's the Boss. You talk about drama. I mean, there's so much drama there now with that matchup, with whether it's Finstock being the manager of the old
We
Lions
finally get
Den,
Bateman
whether
versus
it's
Snyder.
Snyder, who used to do Meet the Movie Press with Riley, Ben Bateman and Roxy. That's all I'll say about that. And then you've got, there's so much going on with it. Just it's
oof.
crazy that they're going to meet
Are
up.
they still
But
together?
now the question is also for the Scream
I
Queens,
cannot tell.
Where do they go? What happens with the Scream Queens? You know, I
I'll ask
think
him.
they have a
Either way,
hard-fought
even if they're
match,
together or
and
not,
they
it's
hit some good ones,
complicated.
they missed some, and now they are going to be talking.
I think
to
they live in the
Jen
same country.
Sturger in just a second here, and we'll get. I don't know. Look, it's nothing to beat themselves up about. It was a tough one.
You understand that they have a wealth of knowledge. I think they maybe displayed
Yeah,
their
Bama
broadness
country.
as far as categories that they're able to answer a lot of questions from in this match more than any other one. They had a game effort in round number 1, really
Caleb
hit
was
their
just
stride
not,
in
you know,
round number 2.
just
And look,
like
that's a tough
ready
Paddington
for it.
too.
Yeah.
Not
You reckon
everybody,
because of
certainly
the
people didn't
live
see it as much as the first
part of
Paddington. So
it, it
Knuckles
didn't work
McGinty,
for her?
that's a tough 5-pointer to
Maybe.
lose on. But
That's-
that is the
yeah.
way that the match went.
She
And
just
like
looked
Christian
lost.
teased, we now have an
Unfortunately,
interview
like, I
with
feel
the
bad
Scream
about it.
Queens, who now sit at 2-1 for their lifetime record, with our own Jen Sturger. Jen, take it away.
What's up, Movie Trivia Schmoedown fans? Jen Sturger here with the Scream Queens. Look, I gotta say this. Jeff Snyder got in my head that last round, so I can't imagine what you guys were feeling underneath those lights out there.
Oh, you know, it was a stressful game, but I don't want to give Snyder the credit for it. There were tough questions. You know, I'm sad about some of the misses. Knuckles McGinty is going to kill me forever. But we went out there. We were a little rusty. It's been a while. Hopefully we'll shake that off next time.
I was gonna say, you guys haven't played in a while. Do you feel like ring rust was an actual thing for you guys?
I feel like, yeah, a little rusty under those lights right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess the real question is, how do we regroup from this? How do we move on?
Just thinking lots of preparation.
Yeah.
Lots of we should just have Snyder like bug us every day.
Yeah, well, work in
You
the
don't
office.
want that.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, try working here. No, we just need to prepare, and I feel like being back in the room with the crowd gets you more on the level of what to expect. It is, it's one thing when you're at home and you're practicing and you're going through your notes or whatever, but it's another thing when there's all these lovely people cheering and looking at you and wanting you to do well.
But like I said, you guys have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. You left it all out there and you took them to round 3. I guess, who's next?
What do you want?
Most teams take other teams to round 3.
I always say this is the most boring answer, but I want to get drunk and play with raspberries.
That's an answer I think we can all respect. All right, back to you, Christian.
I like that match. And
Wildberries!
I would, we could organize that match in a couple hours if we want to keep the stream going.
I think Makuga and Dewberry are passed out in the studio somewhere.
It is a little late for them. You're right.
You can find them. But listen, that was, I like that. It was classy.
I could see that being a good match.
I bet you the pop-up and the free-for-all. There's so much.
He's like, I bet you they'll just pop up.
They had a really strong second round.
As if he didn't set up the roster.
They came back, they showed up in a second, and they just ran into, I think, a more experienced team.
Yeah, I mean, when you were doing the introductions and you're saying how many championship matches that
I think they should show up. If it was up to me, I would put them in there.
Have competed and have won. It's daunting. It'd be daunting if you and I just for announcing the match. So I think the Odd Couple, such an intimidation factor there, but the Scream Queens did not blink. They just came up a little short here today. And like you mentioned before, the Odd Couple now going to Chicago.
Yeah, they are going to Chicago, and Jeff Snyder and Andreko find themselves in a #1 contender match against Who's the Boss and their old manager, and I'm sure we're going to find out a lot about how they're feeling about that. Here's Jen Sturger.
I always wonder how I end up here, Christian. Jeff, if the Me Too movement had a costume, I think you nailed it today.
Not sure how to respond to that one, but thank you for the congratulations, Jennifer.
Mark's like, please don't.
Before the tournament started, the Anarchy tournament started, no one thought this team had a chance. You guys just have way too. Your personalities are like oil and water.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
We are an odd couple, yes.
You very much are. But besides that, you had your past history, obviously, with the Lions Den. So, how have you guys managed to make this work and carry it on throughout not only the tournament, but now?
Well, I've got to say, Roxy is instrumental in that, even though she's not here today. She's with us in spirit because she really cornered us and made us listen to each other and play our strengths. And, if you noticed during the 2-point round, we turned and faced each other, and we were conversing, and it was all about listening and being present. I will say, hats off to the Scream Queens. Those questions they had in their final round. The cook in Paddington 2. Oh, it's like, who's the craft service in Paddington 2? That was an impossible
Knuckles
question.
McGinty is pretty easy.
I look forward to seeing them because I think they're great.
Just say the movie, you would know.
Jeff carried the first round. I got to kick the rust off, but most of this is because of Jeff, but except for my John Quincy Adams.
That was a big pull with Amistad. I hadn't seen that, hadn't seen Paddington 2. Hats off to the Scream Queens. They did play really well. I mean, I got to.
You didn't have to. It wasn't your question, Jeff.
That's a tough break. Especially, as the announcers were saying, we've got a lot more experience. But you heard it. The evidence was there on the tape. Okay? When they announced Mark Andreko as my partner, I let out a woohoo. Because I was excited. I knew we could do great things in this league. There was a free trip to Chicago on the line. I've never been to the Windy City. And now I'm going to send the Scream Queens a postcard.
And my family is in Chicago, so it'll be nice to have my nephews come and actually see me compete. So.
And Christian gets to save money on a hotel room. Fantastic. So, I guess, like I said, the next opponent is going to be Who's the Boss in Chicago, live in front of a studio audience. It's going to be fantastic.
That's going to be delicious. I can't wait to beat Bateman again.
But let's be real. Like, there's a lot on the line for you guys personally. Your history, obviously, with Bateman and, with Finstock, your former manager at the Lions Den. You're going to be facing Riley, who have a lot of history
Give me
with.
all the Mark Riley you can get on the schedule, okay? All day long at the office, this guy's like, who did this? Who was in that? And I got to take care of it.
Start feeding him wrong answers, man.
I'm going to.
But then, you even have Roxy, who's got her history with Ben. Like, this is a full-on episode of Passions minus the midgets at this point,
History with Ben?
Little people.
Got to keep it PC around here for you, Mark. But seriously, are you guys pumped As a fan, I know I am.
Well, I'm really excited because it's my first time competing live. So, and to be able to compete live and have my family there and see all the weirdness that makes up my life is going to be fun. And, you know, Chicago's...
All of this, you mean?
Yeah, well, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And you know, this is just going to be a blast to do a live event and feed off that energy. It'll be, at the very least, it's going to be a really fun match. And ultimately, win or lose, you want to have fun.
Because they're standing in front of Himalaya.
Absolutely.
No one knows how to service a crowd like I do, Jen. Okay?
Himalaya's not an
show in
iceberg.
Chicago. You can bet on that. Buy your tickets right now.
Don't ask questions you don't want answers to.
I have so many
It's the Himalayan mountains, isn't it?
You and me both, buddy. You and me both. But I do have, before I let
Mountain's
you guys
not
go,
an iceberg?
like,
I don't know.
Christian.
Like, where is Roxy?
We got grass
right
here.
now?
We don't even have hills.
I think Grace did something to the brakes in her car, actually.
I think she gave her the wrong address. I think Roxy ended up going south. We all came north. I don't know how she confused it, but yeah, I think Grace had something to do with it.
All right, well, hopefully we get to the bottom
Is this
of that
is
soon.
this the
Back to you guys at
explanation
the
of why
desk.
Roxy's
All
in
right,
there?
look, once again,
I mean,
the odd couple.
if it looks
something
behind-
that's Grace, that's
some
going to
shit
happen.
to do,
We don't
and
know
I think
for
we'd
sure.
all
Grace
be
has
fine,
bashed
but-
some things in the past, but hasn't
I mean,
It's like
no,
the fan.
yet.
mad
Very
about it.
fishy
I'm
what's
just
going on
curious as to
behind
why
the
they
scenes
did
there.
that.
But what we do know
For Collision,
is
they had to
that
make
the
up thing
odd
where
couple
he's
is
so
now
calm.
going to face who's the boss
Yeah.
for the #1 contendership.
Just-
They will
he's
face
not bad, it's
the
fine.
winner of critically acclaimed or the Shire Wolves, who have a scrap coming up pretty soon. But yeah, like Jen was saying, there's just so much history
I
there
wonder
now
what that's
between the
coming
odd couple and who's the boss, and you get to see it live. If you're in Chicago, go and check it out. That's right, Chicago, April 13th. April 13th at the Schmoedownlive.com. And don't forget, March 23rd, 40 competitors.
40, it says 35 on the
Yeah,
flyer,
that
Christian.
was-
Are you sure you're counting
Yeah,
right?
I made it a little harder for both the graphics people and the editor people because I added 5 more. That's right, 40 competitors downtown LA at the Globe Theater. You guys can come watch it live. And you want to see just what it's going to look like? Take a look. We'll be there.
All right, guys. So that was an interesting match to say the least. Let's just go ahead and go through this one because we are, as you're gonna probably tell, we're gonna really be focusing our minds on the other match, but we're gonna cover this. We're gonna have some respect. So we have Scream Queens versus the Odd Couple. Scream Queens are 2-0. Odd Couple's 2-1, right?
Yeah.
So it's on paper it's an evenly matchup, but you really got to look deep at the competitors, and you're like, I don't know. And so something I want to touch right off the bat. Kaylin looked, I don't know if she was tired, not feeling well, maybe the pressure of the fans, maybe the ring rust, I don't know, but you could just tell something like every time she'd answer a question, like Mark would be like, what's the answer? And she would just like be like looking there and like not reveal. I don't know if she was embarrassed that what her answer was like so bad, because I mean I've had that. We're all in the fan leagues. I've had times where I have embarrassing level questions. Like if the answer's 7 seal, and I might say Holy Grail, like that's so stupid. It happens, but so I don't want her to feel bad. So I'm curious on what the situation was, if that was the case. So we get into the match, and it was a lot of fun actually, because first of all, Jeff Snyder's complaining almost the entire first round of these questions, but he did the best out of all 4 competitors. Would we agree? Like he had the highest,
he got like 6 out of 8.
But the entire time he's like, "What are these questions?" And it's like, "Dude, you did the best." And Draco had a rough game, or at least first round he had a rough one, because I think it was 9-6. That was the end of round 1, 9-6.
Yeah, I think so.
And if you said he got 6 of 8, so that means and Draco only got 3, maybe, something along those lines. It's like, holy cow, like that's crazy. 9-6 is a pretty good game for Kaylin having a rough round 1, Haley missing a couple that I was kind of surprised that she would have missed, and Draco missing a bunch that I was surprised he would have missed, and Snyder complaining the entire time. So I don't know if that was just a shtick that game or what, but
it could just be a strategy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we go into round 2, and Odd Couple lets them go first. Ladies first. And they spin the wheel, and they get
New releases.
New releases, and they stick with that.
And I take it.
And they did really well.
Smart.
Yeah, they do really well. They get Assassination Nation. They get, what are the other ones they got? Bumblebee. They got Solo. No, that was round 1. Well, the point is they did really well. I know for me personally, I went 10 for 12 because I think I missed one question, so I know I would have went like 10 for 12. So they did really well, and then Odd Couple goes, and then they spin.
All right. Well, they spin Spinner's Choice, and they choose.
They choose Matthew McConaughey. That was a really weird one. Like, I was hoping they'd go Fincher. I know maybe per se, in Draco's not as strong at Fincher, but I know that Schneider is. I'm pretty sure he's probably the one who put it on the wheel, because I'm pretty sure in teams each player they get to do 2 slices. So I'm pretty sure that's probably the one he put on there. So I'm really surprised they didn't go Fincher, especially because Fincher does not get pulled. I don't even know if it's ever been spun. Maybe once or twice. Twice. So I doubt they would be deep, because he's got 8, 9 movies, so 10 movies. Something like that. And if it's only been spun twice, that's not even his whole filmography. So, I mean, I really, well, potentially Penfield's teams, I don't know. But anyway, it's not neither here nor there. So the point is, I'm surprised they didn't go there. They go McConaughey. They do pretty well. They get failure to launch. They have to get Bryce Dallas Howard on multiple choice, and so on, so on. So at the end of...
Multiple choice, Amistad.
Yeah, yeah. Which he did give credit to in Draco at the end. He was like, that was him with the John Quincy Adams. And by the way, shout out to... Matthew McConaughey question, and it's what is the name of Anthony Hopkins' character? Like, hey, it's not as bad as directors. What movie? What was it? It was what under Oz? Great in the Oz.
Directors, yeah. Who plays? I think the Witch of the East or something.
And then they were like, that movie has a director. They were like, what the fuck are we doing? But neither here nor there. So we go into round 3, and they get their 2-pointer, which Haley went first, which is a surprise. They get their 3-pointer. Kaylin gets it, right?
No, it was John Bernthal, and she had it. She was on the tip of her tongue. She said John.
Yeah,
but she didn't use it.
Once again, no repeats. So it's just I don't know, man. This season, I think that's the magic of no repeats. And then they missed their 5-pointer. Knuckles McGinty, which we thought, all 3 of us thought that was pretty easy. So I'm
But we've seen the movie at least once.
I've only seen it once when it came out, so I'm actually really. But also, then again, with knowing our community and our fans, shout out Zach Ford and Lucas Schobach. They love that movie, so we talk about Knuckles all the time. So I mean, maybe we're a little advantage there. But TKO for the Odd Couple. On paper, I'm not really surprised. And, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't know if Kaylin just had one of those games where it's like, oof, she was really nervous, sick. I don't know the situation. Haley was off to a slow start, but then they picked it up with new releases, and she got her 2-pointer. So overall, I really think her confidence is going to get there. Maybe they just need to start taking the game a little more serious, because they're 2-1. They're still in it. I think the Anarchy tournament really threw off their momentum. I mean, their wins were against Garden Hosers and only Stupid Answers. So I mean, no offense to them, but they're not the hardest of competition. So I feel like now that they've had the competitions, they have the game, they know exactly what to do, how to handle the situations, how to handle somebody like Snyder getting in their heads with that burn with the purge cup or the candle. So I think that's one of those things where I really feel the potential for them, but I do think they need to take the game a little more seriously and really get it up there, and especially with Haley being so home, working within the Kleider, family, that I feel like she should be doing that. So I think now that this loss might humble her, and she might, start getting the fire under her ass, or not, and it is what it is, but we'll see what happens. Odd Couple, we forgot to talk about the cutscene. Roxy is in what was it, Orange County, Orange Beach? I don't know LA that well, but she's somewhere like 30 minutes away.
Here we come. I think it's the RC.
Yeah, the something like that. She's super far away. They're assuming that it's Grace making these decisions, so we don't know exactly what's going to happen there.
She's just down on the beach, yelling vagina or something.
Yeah, exactly. She's on the California boardwalk. Vagina. And good thing she's doing it at day. If she's doing it at night, she might not be safe. But regardless, Odd Couple did not need her, and it was a fun time. They definitely have some plans going forward, and now that they're going to Chicago to play Who's the Boss, I'm definitely excited for that, because I personally am going to be at that live event, and I don't know who I would be rooting for, because I love Draco as a person and as a player, and I'm starting to really like Who's the Boss. So I'm really going to have to decide who I want to root for, and I'm not a big fan of Schneider, especially if he's going to get 70s. So I'm really hoping that's on the wheel. So we'll see what happens there, and I can't wait to witness that match live. Jake, any final thoughts on this match particular?
It feels like Odd Couple definitely came back after their loss with Harris Bros, so it's good to see them coming back, because, I mean, they didn't have the best of time, best performance then. So it's good to see them back on top with everything. They're now 3-1, so they really are now back in title contention. It's weird with Andreka because he's like the weirdest like performances. He has given great performances and he's given terrible performances.
I have a question.
I don't know where to find
Do
him.
you think
what's he
Andreko
doing?
plays to his opponent? Like we're saying on paper, Scream Queens is on, they're 2-0 record, but skill-wise, maybe he doesn't respect them as much, so he didn't prepare, so he's kind of like not in the right mindset. Do you think that affected the case? Cause, I mean,
He doesn't study. He just goes in and plays.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you really think he's just like whatever for the most part? Like when he plays Bibiani, he plays
really
like the best
just depends
matches
on
of
the
his
question.
careers, stuff like that, So it's like maybe he plays to his opponent, and I know, that happens. So
Maybe being managed by Fife was a big factor into why he was doing so well last season. So
maybe to that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he'll beat Erwin and McQueenie pretty easily, but then he'll struggle with Janine and Stacy, and even against Mel he struggled. So I don't know, but it's good to see him working well with Snyder in round 2 because their chemistry just seems to be on point.
Yeah, it's definitely
so
odd,
that would be good
but
to
it's
see
good.
them against. Oh yeah, it's definitely odd, but that's kind of the point, which is why I think it's clever and interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely interested against Who's the Boss. I would like to see Who's the Boss win. They're the team I drafted, but also I just love Bateman and Riley. They just work so well together.
And they might
it'll be
remind us
interesting
of a
seeing
little,
the story conflict between both teams.
Me and you might remind us of some people.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So as you guys can tell, this entire analysis, Michael didn't talk much. We had some technical issues, and because it was a live showing, we kind of just had to go with the flow and just deal with it as it was. Michael, you know the result. Do you have any words that you want to say knowing the result?
I was just say, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm a big Haley fan, so it was kind of sucked to sort of see her struggle a bit. Hopefully she bounces back in the free for all. She had a good performance in the last free for all. She got 4 and got knocked out, so a bit of unlucky there. And hopefully hopefully her and Carolyn can just figure something out because I know it's tough to watch. So yeah,
definitely. All right, everybody. So with that being said, that was part 1 / just this own separate video of this reaction of Scream Queens versus The Odd Couple. Congratulations to The Odd Couple. I'm going to be tweeting at you to watch our reaction and our analysis for this because we're definitely have some interesting to talk about. Jeff Snyder, I'm looking at you. Tweet at me, bro. Mark and Draco, congratulations. And I'm ready to see you guys live in Chicago. Unfortunately, my partners over here aren't going to be there because they live in Australia. But, it is what it is. I'm going to have to represent for us there. So with that being said, I am Henry Confidential. That is Jake Marangoni. That is Michael Campbell. We are Confidential Cinema. Please, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and give us a like. Subscribe to the channel. We're doing some fun stuff, doing these reactions and these analyses. I really think that we're kind of bringing a little something different to the table. Bringing our perspective, bringing our ideas, and bringing, it's our personalities. I'm having some fun with it. Plus, we have some, low-key subtle disses all the time. So maybe if you keep on watching, you might start understanding them, and you might be able to be in on the joke. So once again, I'm Henry Confidential. That is Jake, the maestro. Oh, God. Marangoni, and that is Michael Myers Campbell? I don't know. We'll talk about that. If you guys see on screen, those are our letterboxes. Go ahead and give us a follow over on there because we like to, talk about movies and rate movies and rank movies and do all that type of jazz over on Letterboxd. So we have some fun there. So Henry Confidential Cinema, we out.